And 3, 2, 1. Boom. And we were back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This episode sponsored by Zenreal Clothing Co. Pick up your tees at zenrealclothingco.com. Don't forget to use the promo code SGPodcast for 20% off your order. All right. So we checked out EGLX yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What does EGLX stand for? I don't actually know.
It
It is EGLX, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I got the acronym correct.
I think enthusiastic gaming. I don't remember.
Lexicon Extravaganza.
Sure.
But yeah, so basically it was like Toronto's E3. Like, if you want to conceptualize it as something, was that a safe comparison? Like, I mean, it's obviously it's not E3. Like,
Not really.
E3 is like super impressive, but like,
No, but I wouldn't even call it E3. It's not even close to that. It's just a different thing. It's more of a. I think it was more focus on like.
it's like Anime Expo for video games.
It's a bit more like esports.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah, they had like three different three different stages of like some gaming thing.
True, actually, yeah, you're right. All right, I take that back. It's not really like E3 because E3 you're like showing off things.
Yeah.
So this is more like.
Because I didn't.
Yeah,
even
how do you describe this? Yeah. So it's sort of like.
How do you describe it?
Yeah,
it's just like a esports, and a event, in a way. Just to, like, promote that kind of thing. I feel like.
So all right, so you wouldn't even like compare it to like Anime Expo.
Oh, so there are similarities, I guess, in the sense that of the different like booths and stuff.
Right,
but,
right.
But generally, no, because it's not.
It's more a celebration of e-gaming.
Yeah.
All right, fine. So we'll leave it at that. So EGLX is basically like Toronto's celebration of esports, and yeah, so we hit that up. I'm really impressed with how far this medium is going, because you remember like video games back when we were like little kids,
Yeah.
and you never thought it would become something so massive as it is today.
Right.
Well, one of the things that I thought was so surprising was seeing all of the celebrities, but they were like normal people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sports has been dominated by like outlier athletes for so long, but like with esports it's kind of like if you're really good at the game you can become famous.
Yeah.
But it's like it's almost like the normal people or the nerds take over, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like nobody was athletic, nobody was like well, I mean sure there were some athletic people, but it's like anybody can get into this, you know?
Right.
And at the same time it's like it's very like game specific, so it's like things don't really transfer over. Like you can be really good at like point and shoot first persons, but like the rules of the game are different depending on what game you're playing.
Right.
So it's like you have like for each game you have your superstars.
Yeah.
You know, I really liked with that how like you can sign up as an independent person, and then you can win that like $3,000 grand prize. We didn't sign up, but that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then like the one dude who was like, he was wearing that like face mask, and I was like so impressed because he had that like amazing string of combos.
Right.
And that made me think he was pretty awesome. But it's like, if you really look at it, he's just playing a video game, you know?
Yeah.
Like growing up, I had like many family members who were like really into video games and really, really good at it, right?
Yeah.
And just to think that these people could be like considered gods now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or popular.
Like, popular.
Yeah. I would say, yeah.
And like all the little kids lining up for the autographs from these like normal looking people was crazy. Or like the streamers, they have these like streamer booths out there, and like a lot of the people that were streaming, like in person they look so normal, right?
Right.
That's one of the things that really like surprised me about going to these shows, is like seeing how the camera, like you're seeing it in person, right? And you're like, okay, this is kind of cool, but then you see it on TV because they have the monitor above them, and it looks so amazing because of the camera angles they got, and like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I found that pretty fascinating.
It's cool. I thought, yeah, like especially the esports thing. But like, I wanted to see what it's like. I guess some areas like Sometimes they use like actual like arenas.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, in like South Korea, right? They converted
Yeah.
the soccer stadium into an esports
Yeah,
arena.
yeah. But like
Yeah.
it's not. It wasn't like it's like just growing kind of thing. It feels like here, or there's a
Yeah,
lot
for
of people
sure.
that probably watch it online. They're just like you can even tell that it's like growing because like the venue in itself was not as big as Fan Expo.
Right, right. Because Fan
It's
Expo was like 2 floors.
Yeah, and it was like
Well, actually, not even 2 floors.
no,
It
no,
was
no, it was
like
like
the whole thing.
yeah, the whole thing, right? So, and then this one is just one area, like the
Right.
beginning part of Fan Expo where it was like, and
Yeah,
that
for
was,
sure.
So this
Y-
was yeah.
You know, I really liked this one as compared to all the other ones we went to because
Mhm.
this one felt very like approachable and very like
Okay.
um, very inclusive.
Mhm.
You know, like the other ones like Fan Expo. It's like you're just going there to like ogle over like famous people, right? But like at this one, it's like if I wanted to really partake, I would just sign up for the Tekken tournament.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and then like people were bringing their own like controllers, and like they had the open areas where like you could just sit and play versus people, and it's like it's just like a cool convention to like hang out.
Just look at where all gamers come together in a way.
Yeah, totally, and just like battle each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and like that's super. Yeah, it felt super inclusive because it's like there were stations for people to take part in things.
Right.
Whereas like in other places, other shows, it's like you're just watching somebody. So it's like I'm better than you, but it's like here it's like you put your token up and it's like, you know, like
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
next.
Right.
You know, and if you're really good, like you can school everyone and then take home like $3,000.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the more people that go to those kinds of like the value that you get, right, they'll increase the price sometime, like the winning,
Oh yeah, yeah, true, true, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Like the more people that enter the competition
Yeah.
because you're paying your tickets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the product toss. That was kind of cool. I usually see those for like skateboard companies and stuff. They do like product tosses.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was cool to see like Omen doing one. But we didn't even realize till the very end like, oh, they're doing a product toss.
Which one are we talking about?
The Omen.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that one you're
I
talking about.
really
yeah.
like the fanny pack that they were throwing out, but I was like, oh, I didn't get it. Damn.
It's, the main thing, yeah, is like you're trying to find a way to get a bunch of free stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
Throughout this whole.
Yeah, we didn't buy anything. Like usually at the other ones you buy stuff, but there was like a lot of free stuff. Oh, what I really liked was like the indie department area.
Oh,
where they're
yeah,
showing
yeah.
off all their like indie games, and it's like they're like pilot testing.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, do you wanna
Yeah.
check out our game, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And like from that, I'm sure they're gathering like intelligence. You know, like how do people play this game? How do they interpret the game?
Mhm.
And it's cool to see like different schools there, like Humber, their UX design programs there,
Right.
and like a lot of people. There was like a lot of student run projects. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I did,
Remember like
yeah.
the return a game thing that we signed up for just
Yeah.
to get the chocolate, but
Yeah.
it was like you had to like their Facebook page and like, oh, we're from Sheridan or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like out of a convention. Like that's a cool convention where it's
Right.
like you go there, you can check out some cool stuff, but at the same time, like you can engage.
Hmm.
You know, I think that's why I liked it more than like Anime Expo, Fan Expo, stuff like that.
Right.
Fan Expo kind of felt like just go there and buy stuff. Remember?
Yeah,
Like, it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like just stalls of like buying things, and then like Anime Expo was pretty similar.
Didn't they have booths though, like or like rooms or
In-
like guests or someone?
in Anime Expo, Fan Expo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, but it was like
Anime
we-
more, not
yeah.
not Fan Expo, I think.
in the anime one they had the rooms where you can read the manga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that was pretty interesting. But like, yeah, I think it's fascinating where we're headed. And I was really thinking about it. I was like, when I went to the bathroom, I was like, wow, we're really in the future.
Right.
You know, like watching because they had like the old school games there as well. So it's like you could see like Tetris and like GameCube. Remember that?
Yeah.
GameCube was there. Super Nintendo was there. All this old school stuff, and it's like funny to see because it's like, oh, this is where it all began, like with
Right.
these like small games, and now we're watching like these full on worlds being built. You know?
Hmm.
What do you think of the Watch Dogs, the Watch Dogs, the Watch Dogs demo that we checked out?
I thought it was cool. Like, it was a bit cringe with the person.
I felt like a lot of
presenting it.
people there were cringe.
Actually, yeah, there's a lot
You know,
of
like,
people cringe. Yeah.
like the presenters were pretty cringe.
Yeah.
The people were pretty cringe.
Well, the presenter was just that one person. I thought the
No, but like
the guy that developed the game, when he meant, like, he just introed the thing, I thought that was, like, at least he was
Oh, he was cool.
Felt,
Yeah.
He felt the most normal one there.
Yeah, but remember he was saying like, yeah, he was cool. But remember he was saying like, she doesn't even work for us.
Yeah.
She was like demoing the game, but she doesn't work for Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So it's like,
They're just a presenter.
you know what I hate
Basically.
when they're like, oh my god, like so
I
everyone's
think
going
that I
off.
think that guy, the developer guy, should have done it. He
Yeah,
was doing a
should've.
much more better
Yeah,
job.
he
I
should
felt
have.
like
He's cooler. But she was like, oh my god, I love the granny in this. She's my spirit animal. I was like, bro, like, that's so cringe.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah.
Like, there could have been more insights from the developer, right?
Yeah, if the developer did
But they
it
did.
would've
They
been
did
pretty
have
cool.
like they did have.
He's like, here's how we coded it. Notice that this is blah, blah, blah.
I mean, like they what was I gonna say? Like they did have a developer, like a panel. We
Right,
missed
right,
that one, right?
right.
So maybe that would have been cool.
What did do you find that it's like weird looking at it now because of like Hassan Minaj's show,
No.
his episode? Oh, I felt that. Like I always wanted to work in video games, but like
I already knew that about video games.
I didn't know that. Like
I
so,
knew
so if
that
you don't
already.
know, basically they have like perpetual crunch time. So like,
Well,
they, like,
depends
underpay
on
them.
which game, right?
True. Yeah.
He's talking about Fortnite. He's talking about Apex that we're playing right now.
Yeah.
This is forever crunch time, right?
Yeah, because they're always trying to make new products, but at the same time, like
Yeah.
you're working these ridiculously long hours and like getting paid, like
Yeah.
you're getting paid well, but it's like not relative to like the time you put in,
Mhm.
you know, because you're putting way more time in than you're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
But
That's, like, not cool.
it's different for something like Last of Us or something like that. Like, I know they're right now probably in crunch.
Right.
but
But
that's-
it's their
that's-
project based. It's like it's done. after that.
Exactly. But then they also lose jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I knew a lot about the issues
Of the gaming
in the system. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I was listening to this one person. He was asking, "How do I get into video games? Like, how did you get into video games?" Because we were listening to the Watch Dogs. You could talk to the developer.
Yeah.
So as we were sitting there, and then I was listening to the guy,
Well, we showed up at the end.
Yeah.
We weren't there for the beginning part.
and then the person, she was like, "Oh, it was so like it's not a straight path to get in here. Like I was in programming, but then I got into this, and then blah blah blah." And it's like, oh, so it's like you kind of just gotta get lucky to get into a really good video game, you know?
Yeah.
Because like so many people are making video, like especially seeing the indie like section, like a lot of people are really like creating video games, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like not everyone's going to be like an Apex, not everyone's going to be like a Fortnite, but they're all hoping for it.
Yeah.
What would really suck is like you spend like 10 years of your life developing this game and then nobody buys it, they all hate it.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? There's a bunch of indies, so
Like I mean, is Apex? Nobody knew Apex was coming, right? And then they just dropped it.
yeah, but they're already a big studio.
Right. But what I'm saying is like, it's like that's kind of just how video games are. It's like either they become like a crazy cult favorite or just not.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like who would have thought Fortnite would have been a cult favorite? You know, it's all about the marketing. Like I wouldn't say the game is like.
Yeah.
That's why we shifted over to Apex versus just playing Fortnite. Like the mechanics are similar.
I mean, it's the
gameplay is
the
similar.
game is
The premise is similar, but the mechanics are totally different.
Yeah.
Like this is like a mix between like Call of Duty and Fortnite.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
so like you get the best of both worlds. Whereas like Fortnite in itself wasn't an amazing game, but it's like a cult favorite.
Well, it depends. It's a bit more skill based though.
Which Fortnite?
It depends on what. Like the building aspect is much more.
Right.
Yeah,
Totally,
that's why they
totally.
do a lot of. I mean, they have a lot of tournaments, right?
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's actually a lot of.
But you know,
no, there was like for this I think it was a 16-year-old kid that won like some odd $1 million.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
Remember
I think
that?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you prefer like first person shooters or like what's your game of choice? Like what could you
Right.
watch over and over?
I think the first person shooters.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's the one versus one fighters.
Okay.
Like the Tekken tournament, I could have watched that for like ever.
Like if you see like everyone in the Twitch world would know that like Shroud is like his first person shooting like gameplay is really really good.
Okay.
Like if you watch that, those are very like enjoyable to see.
Because he's skilled.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
okay,
very
okay.
skilled on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. See, it's funny because like history of video games, I remember playing like 8 hours a day of like video games, especially in the summertime. Those were like that was just
Yeah.
those were like the beginnings of it, you know. And it's interesting now. It's like because we're like in our 30s, so the people who are like setting the precedent for the younger generations is our generation now.
Yeah.
And it's like they were probably all playing video games for 8 hours a day as well, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why video games are so big now, because like that generation has stepped up.
Oh yeah, the other thing that I was noticing, like all the indie games, and even like the they become cult classics too. Some of the ones that do get released, very like the old school style. Like
Oh,
the,
yeah,
what I was
the-
mentioning.
So like it's weird how like we have like this push towards like realistic gaming, and now it's like you're kind of going back to pixels.
Well, there's a market for both in a sense.
Right, yeah, but it's like no, but like we
But like
for
why
a whole period it was
yeah.
all about like getting away from pixels. Let's
Yeah,
go towards
yeah,
like as
yeah.
realistic as
Yeah.
possible. And then now it's like, okay, we've hit this like maximum point of like, okay, this is as real as we can get it. Now let's just make it like less real. Like
Right.
people are craving that like cartoony look.
yeah, like the pixel art kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's more like the nostalgia feel to it.
Right.
That it
right.
brings back for those ones who are making it, like the old games that they used to play
Right.
that they really enjoyed. I guess like with you might go into the graphics and stuff, but like if the game's not good, then it's not really like, then you're missing out on something, I guess. Maybe that's why there's that the field of that and doing indie games and doing it more like pixel art.
Like what do you mean?
Like I guess they felt there was more fun in the games that they used to play when they were younger.
Okay, yeah.
But versus like if you just focus on graphics but there's no proper gameplay.
Oh,
Then
it's like
you're-
a trade-off. Yeah,
yeah,
I see
you're
what you're
losing
saying.
something, right?
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Actually, like games got progressively easier and easier. Like
Yeah.
like waypoints now, and like characters telling
Like the
where
one
to
you were
go.
playing is
Final
like he
Fantasy
was connecting it more towards Metroid or like
Oh, the indie game I was
the
playing.
indie
yeah,
game
yeah.
that you were playing, right? He was connecting it to
Metroid, yeah,
Yeah,
Super
Metroid,
Metroid.
which is like way back.
Yeah,
right?
but I was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, and then he's like this. So you didn't know what to do, but it's more about exploration and finding out as you play.
Right,
Versus
yeah.
if you do play games, the mainstream games they're hints as where you got to go. Or
Exactly,
do.
yeah.
So this one is really about just exploration.
But that's like such a niche genre, because like
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
get frustrated so easily. Like I remember back then, like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII was the greatest game for a really long time.
Yeah.
Because not only was like the story good, like it had nothing to do with the actual visuals. It was, well, I mean, because they were like as good as they can get at the time, but
Yeah,
it's like they put so much emphasis on story and like
Yeah.
mechanics
Mhm.
that we don't see that today.
Right.
You know, like it was so hard back then with Final Fantasy VII, where they wouldn't even tell you where to go next.
Right.
You would have had to have like read the story, and if you didn't remember what he said in the story,
Isn't
it's
it
like
all,
you're just running around doing nothing.
Also about buying those guides or something.
Oh yeah, that's
Wasn't that a
true. I
big
forgot all about that. Yeah, you had to buy walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Right. I remember I used to Google walkthroughs too, because like you'd be so stuck on a point, you're like, I don't even know where to go. True.
I remember those,
True
yeah.
walkthroughs.
So that's like what it is. The message board is where you would go
Yeah.
for these sort of things, right?
Basically, now instead of buying a walkthrough, the NPCs in the video game are the walkthrough for you.
Yeah.
Like that market is gone now. Nobody buys walkthroughs because like the UX is so good
Right.
that they're prompting you in the correct direction, even though you don't know you're going in the correct direction. You know, it's actually quite linear. Like when they say like it's an open-based game, it's really not, because it's like they're like pushing you in this one direction.
Right.
But like old school games, they were actually open games, because it's like you could be lost for like weeks, months, until you bought that walkthrough or like Googled it. You know.
Well, I mean, there was no internet at the time, right? Like.
Not like
Or not as well.
well established.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd have to go to like the back edges of the internet trying to find like
Yeah.
where to go. Yeah, totally. I forgot all about that. That's funny. Yeah. What do you think it would need? The EGLX, like.
What would it need?
Yeah, like how do you make it better?
Uh.
I'd say more events. It needs more events.
Right. Oh,
Because like there was only like 2 panel things. Remember 3, something like that?
Yeah. Well, it is just the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So.
I think it would be cooler to have more tournament. I really like how it was like, so they have the open Tekken. It'd be really cool to have like different sections blocked off for like different styles of gaming that are open. So it's like you have the 1v1 fighters, you have the first person shooters, and you have like,
Right.
I don't know, the freaking strat games. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
Like in each different section, and then like they have the giant screens, just like they had with the 1v1, and then like
Right.
you could watch people play. That would be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick, actually.
They should totally do more like video game conventions. I would totally go to those.
Yeah, I guess it's slowly growing here, right? I mean, there is a big market in Toronto, especially. So, I'm hoping that it does become bigger.
Yeah, me too. Me
Right.
too.
And
Yeah,
then
like Asian level.
Mhm.
But like it's funny because we live in like Korea, like little Korea, I'd say, because like there's like a lot of Korean shops, but like there's a lot of like video game. We still haven't gone to it, but we should definitely go to like the like gamer hubs around here. There's
Yeah.
like 3 on this one street alone,
Right.
and it's like there's such a huge market in Asia for like gaming.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I really like that it's like anybody can do it. Like if you have mastered the game, then you can, really stand out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like your physicality. But it's funny how they were doing that whole like make your reaction time. They were having these products that they would sell that were so geared towards gaming. Like they had that glove that like would increase your reaction time.
Oh yeah. But it's like a
Purchase the
sports
glove,
thing too,
and-
right? It's like the best shoes or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And the nutrition, like this is the energy drink without actual. We use ginseng to wake you up. It's
Right,
like
right.
it's like of course gamers would want energy drinks and faster reaction gloves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
What I felt like was out of place was the, I don't know. We were talking
Trivia?
about no.
Oh, I thought that was kind of weird.
Well, that was a bit cringe. I just didn't
they
feel
had
like it
like
was
a
set
trivia.
up properly.
Yeah, they
No, but
had a main stage.
but it was more about just hanging out with those guys because those people are pretty big online. So it's just more like that. I think they probably enjoyed it.
The people that went.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So, but like, no.
You know what I really love about gamer culture?
Mhm.
Style.
Right.
The way they dress and like the way they're like putting on their fashion is so cool.
Mhm.
It's like you talk about like New York fashion and stuff and you say like, oh, they're pretty chic. Gamer fashion, I'm telling you, that's going to be like a thing in the future. You could already see it, like
Right.
gamer fashion, where it's like it's kind of like neo-punk, futuristic, cyberpunk kind of feel, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, they all got those like colorful socks and like really short, tight jeans and like what I'm saying, like there's like gamer fashion and they all have buttons and like yeah that's gonna be something in the future. And I really like. Sorry, I'm like totally gone off this fashion thing, but like that one dude's forearm tattoo,
Oh yeah.
and I was like,
You
yo,
thought it
that
wasn't
guy.
real or something?
No. Oh, there was that guy.
Oh, it's
the
just a different
Twitch
guy.
streamer. But I meant like when they were playing that werewolf game.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a cool forearm tattoo, and his like style was very like college kid.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I'm just saying that like you're gonna see in the future like neo-punk style
Mm-hmm.
fashion coming out of the video game world.
Okay.
Like you have like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
anime
yeah.
fashion, which is like trench coats and like everyone's wearing like contacts and like their hair is gelled in an anime way
Yeah.
with like color. But then like you're gonna have like the gamer fashion, which is like baseball caps and like comfy like cozy wear.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I was talking about main like that we felt that the artist alley was a bit more.
Oh yeah. That was so out of place.
It felt out of place because it was.
There was no gamer stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, well, there was, but it was like super reaching.
Yeah.
Like it was like Anime Expo gamer style. Like
Yeah.
they had like, you know what chibi is? You heard of
No.
hear that? It's like chibi. It's that cute stuff. Like you're like, oh, that's like too cute because I want to buy that button. You're like, that's too
right.
cutesy. That
Yeah.
they call it like chibi.
So, but that's what I mean. Like that would have been perfect at Anime Expo or something.
Yeah,
like
totally. But like all the video game characters that they had were like in an anime chibi style, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
that.
that's pretty lame. Like what are we here? Like Anime Expo?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I agree. Like it would be cool if they sold more like video game specific stuff. They had the Ubisoft gear. But
Yeah.
that was like $60. Like, yeah.
But they didn't have many
Mine's
too.
good.
It was just the logo, and they're mainly promoting the Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
So wasn't really into that.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
much.
Like more products to be sold would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I was hoping to see like, at least PlayStation because I want to buy like some PlayStation gear, but I want to like.
I do
look at
too.
it.
But we were saying like just buy it online. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I truly believe after going to that thing, like we are in the future, and the nerds of the past are taking over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the gamer kids of the past are totally taking over.
Yeah. I mean, it was more prevalent to see there, but it's been going on, right? That's why like Twitch is huge. and all
Right.
that kind of
Totally. But like, there it was like, wow, there's a convention for this now.
Mm.
You know?
stuff. I see.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
No.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking out. Toronto Comic Con. You said.
I think that's coming up next. Yeah, sometime
Yeah.
in Feb or March. I don't remember. I
So
think.
is EGLX something we'd hit up again?
Yeah,
I'd
I
rather
would-
I'd rather hit up EGLX than Fan Expo. I
Right.
liked EGLX more than Fan Expo.
I think if they, I think you just gotta plan out the day. Like we normally just go and just see what's happening.
Yeah, but you have to look at
But-
the itinerary first because there's so many limited
Right.
things. So it's like
Yeah.
you really gotta like.
Yeah, so I think for like this one, even like we should like figure out what the times were,
You're right,
which is the
totally.
best day, and if that's the best one to like plan out, and that's
Right.
the one to go. Like I think for Fan Expo we might need to go because the new PlayStation.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That's the main reason that I'm going.
I'll check it out.
if anything, because it's gonna be coming out next year,
Yeah,
so they'll probably have it there.
exciting. All right, so sorry, innovations. The joystick thing. So they have like the arcade style joystick,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have like the actual PlayStation controller. And you were saying that you actually like the old school arcade style, like.
Yeah, it's so much more like easier on the fingers. I felt like.
Totally. I think it's like my years of gaming as a kid. Like I've just absorbed controllers more than the joystick thing. Like
Mhm.
playing on the joystick was so hard. I was like, oh man, this is like.
But
Totally
well,
difficult.
yeah, I get it. I mean, it was hard for me, but I feel like this is a bit more easier to get used to.
Right. But what I'm saying is like the muscle
Then-
memory's already ingrained in me. Where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
it's-
think
it's a
that's pretty
whole
cool
thing.
about video games too, like the small iterations, but like big visual jumps.
Mhm.
But the iterations are like the actual gameplay is pretty similar because like I can pick up any Soul Calibur because I used to play like on end as Mitsurugi, and jumping in now, it's like I know all the moves
Right.
without
Yeah.
having even played it,
Mhm.
you know. But it's like I like how they keep the moves similar
Right.
over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely hit up EGLX.
Well, they still have it today. Well, by the time this is out, it's already done.
Yeah, true. But next year, EGLX
Yeah.
for the win. So no Socratic Gamers podcast for I guess 2 weeks. Next week and the week after.
Okay.
Because I am hitting up Egypt, Portugal, Egypt, and Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll report back on how big the actual pyramids are.
Okay.
I hear they're pretty big, but I don't know. We'll see.
They're big, yeah.
But it's like,
Even though I've never been, what I've seen.
but big is like relative, right? So is it like the size of this apartment building? Is it the size of like?
No, it's big.
It's bigger than the apartment building?
I was impressed with the one in Mexico. It's way bigger than that. So
It's way bigger than the apartment building?
no, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I said the one in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's
Bigger.
bigger than that, and that was huge.
The apartment building. So the one in Mexico is bigger than the apartment building?
This apartment building?
Yeah.
Or the one beside us?
This one.
I think so.
Wow. Okay. All right.
think
Well,
so.
we'll see.
I don't know, but I think so.
I'm excited to have finally hit up all the ancient civilizations: Greece, Rome, and Egypt. You know, back then they were like the three. Well, Persia too. Haven't hit up Persia. China too. So okay, whatever. But I went to
India?
Hong Kong. India too. No, but like no, like they were like the USA, Russia, and what's another one of their time? Japan, China. I guess China was already there, but like they were like the three main economies.
Mhm.
Greece, Rome, and Egypt. Yeah, allegedly, according to Western canon.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure if we go to like Persia, they're like, no, Persia was actually the biggest economy. You know.
Where is Persia? Talking about Iran?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's left there, but yeah, sure.
No, right, totally. What I'm saying is like, back in ancient times, like
Mhm.
Egypt, Rome, and Greece were like the powerhouses.
Yeah.
So fascinating. All right. Don't forget to hit up zenrealclothingco.com. Use offer code SGPodcasts for 20% off of your order.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Till next time. See you in 2 weeks. Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.